Recently, I did some reflecting about my workflow as a creative, my process as a creative, my hows and whys as a creative. And I had a very interesting realization. It was almost difficult for me to disseminate the difference between a creative and a content creator. It was kind of like the same thing. And I didn't quite like that, right? Like, for me, I'm a creative. I like to create. Creating is an avenue for me. It's a way to get my frustrations out. It's a way to exercise my love. It's a way to do so many things. And if I find that if I'm not creating on a consistent basis, then I start to fall into a space where I'm not happy, and I start picking at other areas of my life. So creating holds a very powerful space in my life. And content creating for social media platforms really infringed on that. Creating for me became synonymous with posting it on somebody's platform so algorithms can prove my worth, right? And I didn't like that. I really didn't like that. It started to sour the experience about something that I needed, that I love. And it's like, nah, I can't, it's too valuable for me to lose control of creating. And so I set out a few weeks to really put some thought behind how I can separate my need to create to my need to post online looking for validation, right? And I arrived at a very interesting place. So no longer am I interested in posting my creative work to Instagram. And I guess this is an Instagram focused video, right? Because that's the biggie here. You can argue that YouTube, right? I'm creating something and I'm putting it on YouTube. But for me, Instagram is the biggest of the offender because it's my photography that's sacred to me. And I put so much time and effort into my photography for so many aspects, right? Learning the tools, learning the craft, researching the craft, consuming the craft. It's so much of my time that goes into it. And for me to just, okay, let me do my portion, let me contribute to my community as a, and then to just piss it away in the wind so that Instagram can change how they want me to do something this week versus last week. Like, I can't do that anymore. I no longer care about posting my creative work on Instagram. So what I've done is I've taken my Instagram account that had 7,000+ followers, 12,000 at the peak, and it's no longer for my creative work. It's for something more appropriate, my professional work, which these days is portrait and headshots and lifestyle work. That's where I'll be posting that. And that's where I want the validation. I want people who are looking to hire someone or trust someone with their creative vision. They want to hire that person to execute. Sure, I'll post my work and what I can do in that realm over there. But for my creative work, where I was at work and I was feeling particularly discouraged and beat down, and I just wanted to not let that energy consume me. I wanted to go out in the world and just release that energy by capturing things that are happening around me, right? I don't want that sacred process to be up for judgment anymore, or to be up on a platform that's no longer in my control. So my professional work is on Instagram, but now my creative work is now on my website. That's rtperspective.com. It's always in the description below, right? And now I'm going to be blogging my photos. So instead of just saying some silly stuff about my photos on Instagram and adding some hashtags, you know what? I don't care if only 3 of you go to my blog and check what I've posted recently on a monthly basis. that's okay. Because at the end of the day, it was for me, and I'm just happy that someone saw it and someone received the hard work that I went in. And I'm also thinking about starting a Substack where I will talk about my professional journey, but also my creative journey, all things me. So I'm gonna start that as well. So that's a more appropriate way. You wanna hear from me? You wanna see my creative work? It'll be in your email inbox, right? So I'm in the process of coming up with that structure, but I think it was very important exercise for me to take control of my creativity and where I post it, because a big part of the experience is not, there are multiple parts of the experience. There's the piece inside of me that needs to create for whatever piece that is. Be it I'm inspired, be it I'm happy, be it I'm frustrated, I'm sad, I'm angry, like whatever. That's a piece of the experience. The actual grabbing the camera, thinking about which camera to grab, which lens to grab, how I want to see the world today. That's a part of the experience. Coming home and maybe editing, because I don't do much editing these days. It is what it is, but maybe I edit, maybe I don't. But just culling and reviewing the images is a part of the experience. And then getting excited about, wow, I really like what I've done here. I'm in love with what I've captured. And that piece, that final piece of me wanting to share that with you, I no longer want it to be soured with, well, you'll never see it because Instagram doesn't feel that you should see it. Like, nah, I don't. Taking control of that is such an important step for me today. I'm so happy that I put a few weeks of thought to it, and I was able to put another few weeks of thought around how to structure it. And now I can sit here and tell you about how things will look for me. And it's a very satisfying thing to exercise control, right? Because we don't quite often have control in life. So I'm very happy to make this video. So yeah, the blog, I'll always link to the blog down below. And then after this video, you'll start to see a change. I'll always link to, I've been sponsored by Retouch for Me. It's an amazing AI plugin that I've been using in my professional world. And I use it at home too, when I'm doing photos of the family. It's funny because my wife said to me one time, I sent over some photos that I took Sunday. She's like, wow, babe, these are super professional. Is this what you wanted? And I was like, well, that's an interesting question, because I did a version of the retouching, right? And I didn't think about why I did it with those photos and why I still do it for all my photos of my family. But I had to come up with an answer because she asked. So I had to, oh, let me get back to you. And then I put some thought behind it. And it was the long and short. I put all this energy in, and I got all these tools, and I got all this knowledge and this technique. And these PCs with a 4090 and M4 Mac. And if I'm gonna do this for somebody else, it's not my family, you goddamn right I'm gonna do it for you. That was the answer. So yeah, I'm quite enjoying Retouch for Me. So I'm gonna leave a link below, and at some point I'm gonna do a video in its entirety showing off that product and what it all does, because I think it's an amazing tool for people photographers out there. I'll always link to the blog. I'll link to my personal website where you can see my work and follow along. And then I'll always link, as I'm trying to find ways to monetize the channel that don't mean me asking you guys for money or putting stuff behind the paywall. Not that it's completely out of the equation, but I want to ramp up the channel in a way that I can get exposure to more things, get more money to do more things, have more conversations. So I signed up for some affiliate marketing with Amazon. So I'll be putting links below with the equipment that I use to create these videos, the equipment that I speak about, in the topics of my videos, You know, you click on them, and if you buy them, your boy gets a little bit of a kickback. So yeah, there's a lot of thought that I'm putting into my creative endeavors, where because it's not only is it time that's spent away from the family, but I want my creative endeavors to sort of sustain themselves, right? Like I want to be able to buy gear, to experience processes and do things, and come back to you guys and talk about what I've discovered and the beautiful things about shooting in log versus not, right? Like all this dope stuff. But anywho, this was a pretty dope video for me to make because of the brain power I had to put in. And I think it's something that is well served for any creative to really take the power back in your creative being process and own it. I think you will find if you take the time to do that, you'll appreciate your craft so much more. And as always, time is the most valuable resource that we have in this world. And I do not take it lightly that you've shared some of it with me here today. And I thank you for that. And if you like the video, like it. If you love the video, hit subscribe, stick around, plenty more coming. My name is Ramon. I'm out of here. Peace.